Hey, Bryce. Everyone knows how you feel about JT. I think everybody in Philly fans, all feel the same way about him. But early on, it seemed in free agency, there was a lot of uncertainty about the offseason and whether JT or Didi would be back. Did you talk to John Middleton or anyone about it? And how concerned were you about the reports that the team was going to cut payroll?
No, I didn't really talk to anybody about it. I kind of just wanted to put all my trust and faith in the team to, keep their word. When we met, when we sat down before free agency and stuff like that, that was one of the big things and goals of this team was to sign the free agents when we could and, get the guys when we could and stuff like that. So I put my faith and trust in them to do their job. And, I had that faith in them. Of course, when you get halfway through the off season and there's not really much going on, you kind of start sitting there worrying about what our identity as a team is going to be, how we want to, prolong this for a couple of years so that we can have a great team for not just 1 year or 2 year, but for 6 and 7 years. Our farm system's kind of depleted. So we didn't have anybody that we could really call up or trade away for anything, that substantial. Of course, you're hopefully not going to get rid of guys like Mick Abel or Stott or anything like that, Maton or anybody like that. So I was wondering kind of what we were going to do. And then, John made his decisions of bringing in Dombrowski, of course, and Sam Fold is our GM. Two moves where I thought, wow, here we go. This is the start. This is the start of our offseason. This is kind of what we're going to do. I said it the other day, you don't really bring in Dombrowski unless it's a win now kind of move. I think Dombrowski's done a great job bringing the guys in that we were able to bring in right now into camp. We have a lot of competition in camp right now, and I think that's good for us and good for the game. Bringing in a bullpen and shedding getting the costs of, the bullpen that we do have and the players that we do for the amount of money that we spent. I thought he did a great job with that. And, of course, bringing back JT. I think a lot of these pitchers, too, that have came into our staff or came into our bullpen understand what JT does for them behind the plate. Pitchers like throwing to a good catcher, and I think JT does that behind the plate for these guys. The way Dombrowski works, I don't even know if he's done yet. I have no idea. I haven't really talked to him about it or anything like that. So I guess we'll wait and see what happens here in spring training. And just very fortunate to play for an organization that is ready to go, ready to win, and, made the moves the significant moves that we needed to this offseason.
All right, let's go to Jim Salisbury and then Matt Breen.
Hey, Bryce, do you think you guys make the playoffs last year if you stay 100% healthy, if you don't have that back issue and your production doesn't decline a bit?
I think it would have helped, of course. Anytime, any of your guys in your lineup go down, it hurts. It's not good. I think there was a couple things that happened last year, as you were watching, that weren't very good for any of us, from our lineup to our defense to our bullpen. I think there was a couple things in line last year that didn't put us over the top or anything like that, and hopefully we can make those adjustments.
You came here to win. You made that quite clear. You have an incredible will to win. You have not been to the postseason now in the last 3 years. Is that a void? How big of a void is it? And how do you see the National League East stacking up and where the Phillies are in it? Can you get there this year?
Yeah, I think this is the best division in baseball. I don't think that's even a question. We have, 5 teams in this. We have 5 teams or 4 in the division? 5, right? 5 teams in this division that are really good pitching, really good young pitching, good bullpens, good lineups. So I think this is going to be a juggernaut of a division. It's going to take the team that stays healthy, the team that knows how to play baseball the best way, beats the teams they need to, and plays hard all year long and don't have the injuries or anything like that. The team that can do that in this division is going to, be able to do that. And, hopefully if we can put a right foot forward and have our lineup healthy all year and our starting pitching healthy all year, getting the revamped bullpen that we do, I think we'll be right there in the hunt, and hopefully we can do that.
The town really is eager for October baseball. Could you even stand personally another October of going home?
I hate being home for Halloween, I can tell you that. I think the town needs it. I mean, the city of Philadelphia, they deserve it. They need it. We're a team that can hopefully do that for them. That can give that to them. They deserve to be in the stands, in October, and I know they're wanting to do that. And I think everybody sets goals and things like that, but it all starts down here right now. We need to figure out who we are, what we can do, how we can do it, and take it 1 month at a time, and get it going.
Did you get a chance to work out with Bryson Stott this winter? And can you kind of give maybe me a read on him as a prospect, how you kind of see him coming along and where he is and maybe what his ceiling might be?
Yeah. Me and Greg were actually just walking over here, and we were talking about him a little bit. And I think if he pushes the envelope, he's a big leaguer. I mean, I really do. He's a very good mix of, I would say JJ Hardy and Brandon Crawford. That kind of, makes every play. And he's not super flashy, but he has the arm like Crawford does. But he's very good up the middle. The game's not too big for him. You know what I'm saying? He's very even kill. And I would imagine he has a very similar swing, doubles to the left, homers to right, as like a Garrett Anderson, if I could imagine that. I think so. And I know that's pretty good praise because he was a very good hitter. But, I just think he has that mentality, that demeanor. He's a very good player. He's going to do whatever he can to get to the big leagues, if that's playing second or short. I think that's what he wants to do. He wants to be here. So.
And Garrett Anderson, the former Angel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And you do work out with him on occasion? I'm just trying to, or.
I mean, we don't really work out too much. We'll hit, here and there.
Okay.
He's at my house every weekend. We're always watching Buckeye football and hanging out. So he's living with me this spring.
Okay.
I mean, he's one of my good friends, close friends. But he knows this is all business when we're here. You know what I'm saying? This is what he wants to do. This is, I want him to be here. I want him to work hard. I want him to have fun, enjoy it. But knows that, he has to get out there and work every single day. And I think his mentality in Philadelphia is going to work really well too. He's got that great mentality, blue collar, wants to work hard. The game doesn't get too, big for him, or, he doesn't get too high or too low. So I'm excited to see what he has to do.
So he's living with you. Does he have a curfew?
He can do whatever he wants, man.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Bryce, you said earlier this week that Dave Dombrowski felt like a breath of fresh air. When did you first feel that, the air might have been starting to get a little stale? Was it this offseason? Was it during last September?
No, I think it was December when I had no idea what was going on. Where we were kind of sitting there figuring out what we kind of wanted to do as an organization, how we wanted to approach this offseason, what was going on, payroll, things like that. So, I think that was kind of my sense of, man, what do we got going? But also me understanding that I have all my trust in, John Middleton and what he's going to do for our organization, all of our coaches and stuff like that. You don't bring in Girardi and tell him, hey, we're not going to do anything. You know what I'm saying? So I think just bringing him in, it was kind of refueling. You guys know how Dombrowski is and how he works. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to win. And he was able to do that when he was in Detroit. He was able to do that when he was with Boston. And so when he came in, it was kind of like, whoa, like, here we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. This is what we're going to do. And this is how we're going to do it. So he made his first move. He made his second move, his third move. And it kind of just dwindled into kind of what we're doing right now. And I love Sam. I love the way he approaches his days. I love the way he approaches players as well. And I just think we have a great mix of, people working for us right now. And we're just really excited as a locker room and as a clubhouse. So I'm looking forward to it.
And how's your back? And I know you spend an extra day just to finish up your workout on that, or your training regimen back home. How serious of an off-season focus was it to get your back right? And how's it feel now?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to feel pain anymore. So I kind of, we started it and got it going. I took about a month and a half off, a little bit more than I usually do. But I kind of just wanted it to rest and, relax and things like that. So got on my program, what I kind of needed to do, locked in stuff that, locked in my workouts and did a few things that I haven't done before. So I, got into January, got into February. Like you said, I came into camp a day late because I wanted to finish my week out. I worked out Monday through Friday. So being able to finish my week out was really crucial for me. Then got into camp, and we have a great program of what I need to do and how I need to do it each day. So I'm really looking forward to what we have going on, staying healthy and continuing to stay healthy for the whole year.
And now that last season's over, can you just explain how bad that your back hurt? Seemed like you kind of wanted to keep it under wraps last September.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys know how I am. I don't want to complain about anything that I go through. If it's that bad, then I'll stop playing. But I thought we had 30 games left. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to win. I wanted to take advantage of what we were doing. I wanted to stay in the lineup for my teammates and things like that. But I mean, I couldn't throw a baseball, and I think that was that was tough for me. I think you guys saw the last 2 weeks of the season, I finally was able to DH. It kind of worked out for us where I could stay in the lineup and I could hit. And I wasn't feeling the pain because I wasn't throwing a baseball. So I finally was able to get over that pain. I've been throwing, which is great. I threw from the outfield today, which was awesome. And I didn't feel it at all. So I was very happy about that. And then, hit live today and also, hit BP and stuff like that. So I feel really good where I'm at right now. Like I said, I need to keep on top of things. I need to understand how I'm working, my workload and stuff like that. Because I mean, like you guys know, I want to play every day. I want to be able to perform every day as well and be smart performing every single day. And they, the Phillies and, the city of Philadelphia is going to need me to do that for us to win. So.
And just the last thing, the way you talked about Stott reminds me of just the way Jason Worth kind of looked out for you early on in your career in DC. Do you feel like you're kind of playing that role now?
I just want guys to be comfortable in our clubhouse. I want guys to understand they're part of this team, and we have the ability to have guys come up and help us play and win, just like a Bomer. Being able to have him come up last year, I wanted him to be comfortable, but I want him to know that he has to work hard and give it his all every single day, just like Stott or anybody else. When you come into our clubhouse, you're one of us, but you're going to follow the rules of our team and what we kind of want to put into place. And I think Stott is going to be a great ball player, but he's got to work to get here. If he doesn't work, he's not going to be here. So I think he has a great mentality of what he wants to do and how he wants to go about it. And I want him to have the most success that he can in all levels, especially the big leagues, because if he has success, then we're going to have success as a team. And, I think everybody needs that and wants that.
Thanks, Bryce.
Yep.
All right, let's go to John Clark and then Bob Brookover.
Hey, Bryce, how different and difficult was it last year without fans at Citizens Bank Park? And what's your reaction to hearing that there could possibly and likely be fans there for the home opener?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely tough. I think it was, most tough because we didn't have our families in the stands either. I think being able to have your wife and your kids there, being able to perform in front of them is always fun. And then, of course, the city of Philadelphia, having their fans in the stands, there's nothing better. I think people are eager to go to ballparks, eager to go to sporting events, to kind of get it back to what it was before. I think getting out of their houses and getting into the stadiums if they feel safe and want to do it, then it's great for us. It's great for the game. It's great for them as well. The mental capacity of putting people in stadiums is going to be so much fun for them, and getting families back together in the summertime and seeing the Fanatic again and stuff like that. It's such a cool thing to think about. I'm really excited to hopefully get them back in there and hopefully state of Pennsylvania can figure that out for us.
And I saw the shirt you were wearing when you arrived there, Clear Water. When you came to Philly, is it rubbing off on you now? I mean, how do you say Clear Water?
I say water, so I don't say water. But no, my wife actually found it, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. So yeah, I mean, I wore it, and I think people liked it pretty well. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Hey, Bryce, about your back, Chase Utley, when he had his problems, had to really change his routine, and it was a very involved routine just for him to get ready to play. Are you at that point where, how involved is your routine, pregame, postgame routine going to have to be now that you have had this problem?
I mean, I've always had a pretty good program before and after games. So I've always, had my stuff that I've done before post-game or pre-game, my activation and my workouts, and then I play, and then my post-game workouts and stuff like that. So none of that's really going to change. It's just, changing the exercises that I've done, or understanding that I won't do something before the game that I should do after the game that might, fire me up and not fire me up. So, I mean, all that stuff's going to be the same exact thing. I won't change any of that, but I will change some of the stuff that I have been doing pre and post.
And you guys have been together now. This is your third year together for a lot of you. JT, Andrew McCutcheon, Hoskins. What does it, when you haven't had success, when you haven't reached your goal, can that create a chemistry, and can you feel that at all? And do you guys talk about that at all in terms of, hey, you know what, we haven't got to where we've gotten, and you don't have forever to do this?
No, I mean, we don't really talk about that much. I mean, spring training right now is kind of getting to know everybody that has came in. If that's Archie Bradley, getting Mills back in here, Kinsler, Joycey. So we're just trying to, get to know all of. I mean, everybody knows, what our last 3 years have looked like. Our last, couple years have looked like. So we don't really talk about the past much. We're moving on from what we've done and looking forward. I think, like I've said, we have, new GM, new president of baseball ops, manager, all that kind of stuff. So I think we have a really good team of people around us. Everybody's buying in. Everybody wants to, win games, and that's the ultimate goal. You have to win games to get to where you want to be. If you don't win games, you're going to have the, fifth pick in the draft, and I don't want to have that. You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody knows kind of how last season went. We want to put that behind us, and get into this year, win our games each month that we have to, and hopefully be there at the end when we need to.
You've been around so long, and I think people forget that you're 28 years old. Do you feel like these are your peak years? You obviously had great years when you were young, and we were talking to Joe Girardi about it yesterday. He said sometimes it seems like guys are peaking at 22 now when you look at Soto, and even you had maybe that was your best year at 22. But do you feel like you're hitting your peak years, and are there things now that you identify as a player that you couldn't even think about when you were younger?
I think coming into every single year, the older you get, the better you get, I believe. I mean, mentally on the field and things like that. Of course, you have to, work a little bit harder on your body and, how it can maintain throughout a 162 season. But some guys, a couple years ago and things like that, they had their best years and their best year, their best span of years from the time they were 28 to 34. So, I mean, I want to come in here. I want to be the best player I can. And if I have success, hopefully the Phillies have success as well. And that's all I want. I just want to be able to win. I want to be able to, bring hopefully a championship back to Philadelphia, and, us as a team, as an organization. I know John also, we want that to happen, and we're going to try everything in our power to do that as an organization. And that's what we want. I mean, at the end of the day, success as a team, instead of a success as individuals, that's how you get to where you need to be, because it takes all of us. It doesn't just take one guy, plugging along. It takes all of us plugging along all year to get to where we need to be.
And just one last one. What do you specifically, in your mind, do better now than maybe you did 3-4 years ago, or even 5, whatever?
I mean, just the way I approach, I think, spring training and stuff like that, or even, the year, not swinging as much, not, not going too overboard with what I do, the way I work out in the off season, the way I work out during season. Just trying to evolve over time of what works best for me as an individual. Being able to understand other players, how they tick, what they do, how to approach talking to people. I feel like I speak more free here in Philadelphia than I did prior. Being able to talk to you guys and just be myself, I guess you can say. I think that's always fun. So I mean, I don't know. I love playing in Philadelphia too. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I can take advantage of that and be Bryce and just be myself here in Philadelphia. I've never, they've never once said to me, calm down or do this or do that. We want you to be this type or that type. They've kind of just let me, be me, and they've liked that as well. And I really appreciate the Philly organization for doing that for me.
Thanks a lot.
All right, we have time for two more really quick ones. We're going to go to Scott Lauber and then Jason Stark.
Hey, Bryce. What was your first conversation with Dombrowski like after he got hired? How soon after, and what? How did it go?
Yeah, he called me and we talked for a second. I told him congratulations. I'm happy to have you. I'm glad Nashville didn't work out for you. No, no, but I was just really excited to have him. Really excited to know where he came from and what he does. I think when we hired him, it was kind of, wow, now here we go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what he's done in Detroit. I know what he's done in Boston. He's going to be the guy that comes in and, hopefully, flips our organization and, puts us on the right path to success. So, I told him that as well. I said flat out exactly kind of what I just said to you. How we brought you in, what you did in Detroit, Boston, and just really excited to have you here. So just really looking forward to, how he works and what he does and, conversations that we can have. And that's what he said too. He goes, if you have something for me, talk to me about it or Sam, and, we can go from there. So
I'm also curious, your relationship with John Middleton. You guys got to know each other a little bit a couple of years ago during the whole process to bring you here. When it's December and you're kind of wondering like what's going on, what direction are we going in? Can you pick up the phone and call him? I mean, what's that relationship like? Can you reach out and say like, hey, look, I'm just curious, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't think we're to that point yet. We still had a long off season to go. And like I said, I've put so much trust into John and kind of what he's doing. And I think he kind of was a little bit busy understanding or trying to figure out his front office and what he wanted to do. So once he did that, I remember texting him and going, hey, I love what you're doing. Here's a picture of Brooklyn and crew, like, hope you're well, Merry Christmas kind of stuff. So, and he texted me back, and John's a guy that wants to win. He cares about his clubhouse. He cares about his team. He cares about the city of Philadelphia. He wants to have, success in all facets of the game, and he wants us to, have success as players. And I know that he wants to bring a title back to Philadelphia and do that again. I know how much everybody loved 08, not so much 09. Love that run, but the killer in the World Series. But I mean, I think everybody wants to get back to that run. I mean, because you guys had such a great span of years with those teams. So I'm looking forward to hopefully getting back there. And I know that John wants to have that success as well. And we can as an organization if we put the right people out there.
Thanks, Bryce.
Yep.
Hey, Bryce. It's hard for me to believe that this is going to be your 10th season in the big leagues. I can still recall that weekend, you and Trout arriving like basically the same time. It seems crazy to me that as good as both of you guys have been, neither of you have been to the World Series. Neither of you have even won a postseason series, right? So what do you think that says about baseball and the ability of one player, even a great player, to impact his team, impact winning the way LeBron does or the way Tom Brady does?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really sure. I think we all play different sports, so I mean, LeBron's an incredible athlete. He takes over games. Same thing as Brady. He takes over games and has guys around him that are incredible, offense, defense, things like that, and everything usually hits on the right cylinders for those guys. And you know, there's no panic in their play or anything that they do. So you look up to guys like that because you understand how they work and their mentality and what they do on a daily basis. And you hope to be there one day of winning World Series and championships and things like that. So, you know, I think baseball, anything can happen just like any other sport. And sometimes, you know, the best team doesn't always win. You know, you've seen that a couple of years, and the Dodgers finally put it forward and they won this past year. They've always, you know, they've had the best record in baseball, and, you know, they've lost, but they've won, you know, series and things like that, but they ran into some great pitching or, you know, something like that. So I think anything can happen. Hopefully this year, you know, our team and the Phillies can, you know, get back to where we need to be. And, you know, that's getting to the playoffs. That's winning games and understanding what our identity wants to be for the next, you know, couple of years, and not just 1 year or a span of 2 or 3. So I'm looking forward to postseason baseball. I love postseason baseball. I love the mentality of it. It's always a lot of fun. I think the fans are, you know, craving it so much and getting back into the ballparks. And, you know, what a great year to be able to get back into it and hopefully get into the postseason for the city of Philadelphia.
I don't know if you ever look at these lists of great players who never get to play in the World Series, but how driven are you to make sure that your name doesn't stay in that list?
Yeah, I mean, that's everybody's ultimate goal. You know, I think DeGrom said it the best the other day. He said that, you know, you have an ultimate goal of winning a World Series and things like that, but also you have your individual goals that, you know, he said he wanted to be a Cy Young. I think he has a great chance to win a Cy Young. But, you know, that's the ultimate goal of getting to the World Series. And I think every guy says that when they get to spring training, is their ultimate goal as players and being teammates and things like that is to get into the World Series and play into the World Series and play into October. But you have to get there. You have to have the right bullpen. You have to have the right starting pitching. You know, everything has to be hitting on the right cylinder to get to where you need to be. And, you know, I think hopefully we can do that this year and, you know, get my name off that list, hopefully.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Bryce.